Hello, everyone. And hello, Instagram. We're live in two places at once. How magical is that? So, as you may have seen from the title of this live, I wanted to come on here to share something that I've been practicing recently, that I've been living by recently. And I know a lot of you follow me for my content about manifestation, how to manifest more good things into your life, how to manifest more love, more abundance, more happiness. Maybe you want to manifest specific goals into your life. And so I had this realization recently that I really want to share with you. And I feel like if you can understand that this is actually the most important thing that matters when it comes to manifestation, then life in general will flow more easily. You'll have more good things. Things will seem to happen more effortlessly for you. But also, and this is the big, most important part to share, also, when things don't go to our plan, when we want to try and make things happen our way, and when things maybe sometimes don't go our way, how can we, and a calmness and an ultimate sense of deep, true happiness and certainty in ourselves, so that we can navigate those things like water navigating round rocks? So if you're watching live, if you've just tuned in on Instagram or you've just tuned in on YouTube, stay tuned, okay? This isn't going to be a long live, but I've got some points here that I really want to share with you. And this is on my mind in preparation for the live event that I'm going to be hosting in my YouTube members area tomorrow. So tomorrow is February the 1st. February, I like to associate as the month of love. But, every day of the year can be a day of love. But the theme is all going to be about how to live from the vibration of love. Okay. So, what does that mean? And why is that so important? Well, first of all, I just want to emphasize the fact that yes, I'm going to be talking about how to manifest more of what you want, but I'm going to be talking about it from the standpoint of, wouldn't you love to be like, isn't the ultimate goal? Yes, you might have a goal to manifest this specific thing or person or job or career or money or body or whatever. But let's take a moment. I want you to think beyond that for a second. If you are somebody who identifies themselves as spiritual, you'd like to become even more um, spiritually conscious, you'd like to be able to generally be living a life of your dreams, then that ultimately comes down to feel about yourself and your life the majority of the time. I had the honor of spending 30 days with a Himalayan yogi called Grandmaster Akshar. And to be in his presence for 30 days was like nothing I've ever experienced. I think he is far too wonderful and modest and humble to have called himself enlightened. But I'm going to say that on his behalf. Absolutely. He was vibing on a level of enlightenment. So, what does that actually mean? In the course that we're going to be doing tomorrow and the next day and the next day, the course that's going to be taking place in my YouTube members area, the first day we're going to be really studying the vibrational scale of consciousness. Every emotion that you feel has a vibration. You feel it. Others feel it. You feel other people's moods as well, right? You can actually feel the energy in motion, which is what emotions are. And if you have ever, you can Google it. You can Google Hawkins vibrational scale of consciousness. Just put a pin in that at the moment. Stay on the live. You can Google it afterwards. I'll tell you the name again, or somebody can put it in the comments. Hawkins vibrational scale of consciousness. Okay. Basically, it's a beautiful visual representation that shows you all of the different emotions, or at least the main emotions that you feel on a day to day basis or throughout your life. And it also shows the vibrational frequency of each of those emotions. So, when we talk about high vibe frequencies, high vibe emotions, or we talk about low vibe, like, oh, that's a really low vibe conversation or a low vibe, or that person's giving me sort of like low or negative vibes, right? It's actually based on whether it's a low vibration on the scale or a high vibration on the scale. So the lowest vibrations on the emotional scale include shame, guilt, fear, sadness, grief, amongst a few others. Okay. I haven't got it in front of me, but I know that those ones are contracted emotions. And that is why, if and when we feel any of those emotions, sadness, grief, shame, fear, okay, how do they feel? How do they feel? They feel yucky. They feel icky. You might actually feel discomfort in parts of your body, maybe in your heart or in your stomach. Sometimes we can actually physically feel how that emotion feels, and it never feels nice. If we chronically feel stress or anxiety, again, those are words that really describe a chronic being in those low vibrations, chronically feeling fear, chronically feeling sadness, guilt, shame, right? So it doesn't feel good, okay? Even just talking about it right now, it's not feeling very nice, isn't it? So let's climb our way up that vibrational scale now. So, what emotions are at a higher vibrational frequency? And this is the goal. If your goal is to manifest something, a specific thing, bring it to mind right now. What is it that you want to manifest? What goal is it that you want to manifest? Is it more money, more love, more joy, more health, better relationships, a new home, a new car, like materialistic stuff, or physical, or even just experiential stuff? Whatever it is that you want to manifest, it will all become so much easier for you to move towards, or you will even become a magnet for it when we are predominantly vibing on the higher frequencies of the scale. So, what are those highest frequencies on the scale? Well, actually, believe it or not, above those ones that I mentioned, things like anger and courage are higher than the low vibrations. So, if you've been feeling really depressed, really anxious, really fearful, really guilty, and then sometimes you get angry and it almost feels better, it's because it is a higher vibration than those lower ones. It's not high vibe yet, but it's higher. Yeah. So I'm seeing here in the comments on YouTube, some people are nailing it already. Some people are already writing down what are the highest vibrational frequencies on that scale. And stay tuned, because this is really important if you want to manifest anything, to understand this. So some of those high vibrational frequencies include love, joy, or happiness, gratitude, feeling that appreciation, that gratitude. And then, even higher than that, total peace. Total peace. And when Grandmaster Aksha, and how he wouldn't say it because he's too humble for that. He's such a amazing human being, but he absolutely is one of those people who's reached a state of enlightenment. So what does that mean? Is enlightenment only reserved for the spiritual gurus, spiritual masters, Buddha, and these kind of people? No, it's absolutely not just reserved for those people. Enlightenment is the highest vibration on that frequency. Enlightenment is the ability to feel at peace. And this is how to practice it, to be able to separate yourself from your thoughts, to be able to separate yourself from your emotions and witness them without judgment. Okay, now that is a lot to get our heads around. I'm currently reading and studying this book. Who else loves this book, by the way? The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or Eckhart Tolle, depending on how you pronounce it. The Power of Now, the Power of Now, the Power of Now. If I tell you how many nudges from the universe I've been given to read this book, it's unbelievable. I've been gifted this book twice. Two people have given me this book on separate occasions. So many people over probably the last decade have recommended me this book. And then in the last week, I've had someone recommend it to me, or the last 2 weeks, somebody recommended it to me almost every day. So I felt like the signs were getting thicker and faster. And so a few days ago, I started to study this book in depth. And it is all about this. It's all about how anybody, not just spiritual masters and gurus, okay, how anybody can access a state of enlightenment. But even if that feels like a little bit too far away for now, if we can practice living in a state of joy, a state of gratitude, a state of bliss, peace, right? That will absolutely transform the game when it comes to manifesting anything that we want. So now the common struggle or obstacle that comes up at this point is, but Lucy, there are things in my life that whenever I think about them, or whenever I experience them, or whenever I have to do them, or whenever I'm talking to that person, they bring me down. Whenever I have to deal with something, it brings me down. Those are the biggest and best learning opportunities to realize. This is the big realization that I've already got from reading this book, is that the things that we think make us happy, or the people that we feel give us that feeling of love within our bodies, this isn't taking anything away from those amazing things, right? But instead of thinking that those things make us happy or make us feel love, they're actually nothing more than temporary pleasures. When we experience something and it's good and it triggers feelings of good energy, it is momentary. It is temporary. The reason why I say this is, how many of you have had a goal? You were saying when you were at work, oh my God, I need a holiday. I can't wait to go on holiday. And then finally maybe you get the money, or you get the time to be able to go on that holiday. And when you're on that holiday, I'm sure it's amazing. I'm sure there were loads of moments of happiness and happy memories. But do you also have any have you ever experienced when you're there in paradise, in the resort, in the hotel, or in this country that you've always wanted to go to, and even while you were there, you still maybe experience moments of stress, you still maybe experience moments of sadness, of anxiety, right? Maybe there was a delay to your flight. Maybe you lost your passport or your ticket. Maybe someone was rude to you, even in paradise. Or maybe you've achieved a goal and you think, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when I'm doing this career. I'll be happy when I hit X number of subscribers or followers. I'll be happy when I'm earning X amount of money. I'll be happy when I have this size body or whatever. And then you achieve it. And then are you permanently happy for the rest of your life after you achieve that? Or was it a moment of pleasure? And then we kind of go back to our default settings again. So I'm sharing this. Why am I sharing this? I'm not sharing this to be a Debbie Downer and say, what's the point in striving to manifest anything? On the contrary, I'm saying you can absolutely allow yourself to want to manifest anything that you want. You can be, do, and have anything that you want. Life, in my opinion, is to be at so many happy events, but don't confuse chasing something for pleasure with the ultimate goal, which is to feel and live from and be and embody those high vibrational emotions. Anything that we want to manifest, we manifest it because this is the only reason why we want to manifest anything, by the way. Anything. The only reason why we want to manifest anything is because we believe we will be happier when we have it. And sometimes this can be hard to get our heads around because we think, but does that mean I shouldn't? Does that mean I shouldn't want these things, or is that wrong? There's nothing wrong with it. You absolutely can want to manifest anything because you think it will make you happier. But let's go to manifest anything is because why? I am ultimately in pursuit of those high vibrational emotions. That is why I want to manifest anything, because it will make life easier so that I can feel happier more of the time. Great. So the actual goal that we want to manifest is feeling happiness, is feeling joy, is feeling love, is feeling gratitude more of the time. So it's a kind of chicken or egg thing, right? Oh, well, Lucy, okay, well, when I have more stuff, then I'll be able to feel more happy. But yes, Blaze has said it here in the comments. The ultimate practice is how can we feel good now? How can you become the kind of person where in all seasons of life, you still always have your own source of happiness within you, regardless of the shitstorm that might be going on around you? That's that's the vibe I got when I spent time with Grandmaster Akshar. We had some moments where things didn't go to plan. We had some moments when there was terrible flooding and landslides and all of this while we were traveling across India. We had many obstacles that came our way. I got horrifically ill at one point, and that almost stopped the journey to the next location that we needed to go to. And Grandmaster Akshar experienced all of those things. But the ultimate thing is that he was vibing at such a high vibrational frequency that he was able to handle all of it so gracefully, so calmly, so elegantly. And what do you think that does to your spirit, by the way? What do you think it feels like to be a spirit, to be a soul who has an unshakable sense of inner peace, joy, and love? How much easier do you think that makes all of life? Doesn't necessarily make life perfect because we live in this universe of duality, of positive energy and negativity, right? But what do you think that would do for your mental health? What do you think that would do in terms of your ability to be consistent? Maybe there's some things in your life where you know what, if I just actually did this small daily discipline each day, my life would totally transform, but something keeps blocking. Or if there is the right moment, I end up stopping myself. Don't you think all of that would basically seem to just melt away when you're living on that vibration of love and above? So then the question, of course, is how? How do we do that? Is it just reserved for a few spiritual yogis who dedicate their life to meditating under a tree and doing yoga 12 hours a day? You know, absolutely. It can be a lot easier than we think. And like I said, there's more to it than I can really help you through in a live. what I'm going to do, the last thing I'm going to share in this live session is I would boil it down to, if you can master 3 things, then it will really help you to get there. What I'm going to be doing with anyone who's part of the YouTube members area tomorrow, the 1st of February, the 2nd of February, and the 3rd of February, is we're going to have 3 live interactive sessions where I'm actually going to do this. We're going to do it together, right? And in addition to those 3 interactive sessions, I feel like it's really important for us to have a toolkit of, you know what I mean? Like building your spiritual toolkit to have different exercises that you can tap in on depending on how you're feeling that day. So I'm also creating a spiritual toolkit. I've actually got a list here of these spiritual tools that I'm going to be creating over the next couple of days and adding to the YouTube members area as well. But these will basically be shorter videos where if you need a boost, you can click on that video at any time and it will be a guided tapping exercise or breath work exercise or experiential movement meditation exercise or a rampage or a set of affirmations, all the different tools that I love myself. I'm going to create this spiritual toolkit and it will be there available as well. Okay. So, by the way, I've got a couple of people asking how I'm all ears. Tell me more. So, basically, if you're on YouTube, you can. I think I'll post the link here. If you click on the link or you click on the join button underneath any of my YouTube videos on a computer, you'll be able to join the transformation tribe level of my YouTube members area. So basically what this YouTube members area is, especially if you join the transformation tribe level, which is £22.99 per month, is you get access to whichever live event is happening that month. Plus, you get access to the entire library of transformational online courses and live events that I've ever created before. Plus, there's also some master classes from some of my manifestation friends in the manifestation law of attraction industry, some of my favorite coaches. So all of that is available in the transformation tribe as well. So this really is for anybody who is, maybe you're in that place in your life where you're prioritizing your growth. You know that growth isn't just something that can be done with a quick 5 minutes here or a quick 5 minutes there. Like sometimes it does take going deeper and practicing these exercises or having a live, transformational kind of experience together. So if that's the kind of person that you are, where you want to attend events and dive into online courses, transformational things, then that is why I created the transformation tribe in my YouTube members area. I know it's not for everyone. I know that there's a lot of people on YouTube who just want to learn about, the surface level stuff, and that's great too. But of course, I wanted to create a separate special area for the people who want to go deeper. So I've put the link there on YouTube. Let me see if I can put it on. As someone, Verinder Rajput Fitness has joined it. Amazing. So I'll put it here as well. But like I said, stay tuned because before we go, I am going to share the three core areas to focus on that will really help anyone who's looking to live from a place of those high vibrational emotions more of the time. It will help you to do that. Okay. And then we're going to be going through them on this 3-day live event starting tomorrow in the YouTube members area. Okay. So the first area that's really key to work on if you want to live from a place of love and above is to prioritize taking care of your nervous system. Okay. You have a parasympathetic nervous system and a sympathetic nervous system. I'm going to go into it in a lot more detail in the event where I have a lot more time to help us go deep. But essentially, the parasympathetic nervous system is the system in our body that flares up when we feel like we are in danger It causes us to feel stress, anxiety. It causes our muscles to engage, just like if you were a zebra on the savannah in Africa and there's a lion chasing you, right? What does the zebra need in that moment? The zebra needs to feel the zebra needs its legs to be able to run fast, and it needs to be able to kind of blur the mind and just get out of there, right? Or sometimes as humans, we talk about the fight or flight kind of adrenaline, adrenal system, right? So while that is really useful when you're running away from a lion, it's not so useful if you actually want to access a place of deep peace. And most of the time, as human beings, we don't. The thing with humans that differs from zebras is that we sometimes, if we experience something stressful or traumatic, we can have that parasympathetic nervous system activate and then we don't turn it off. And this is what can lead to people living in a chronic state of stress or anxiety, possibly for years. Or maybe there's one particular area in your life. It might be career, it might be love, it might be food, it might be something else. And that subject causes your parasympathetic nervous system to activate. And obviously, that doesn't feel good. But also, in the modern day world in which most of us live, most of these things that trigger the nervous system, like it's actually not that helpful that the nervous system is being activated like that. It would be better if we could approach whatever obstacle has come our way from a place of calmness and regulated nervous system. What also happens when we have a dysregulated parasympathetic nervous system is when you're in that fight or flight, run away from the lion kind of energy, our body actually reduces the energy that's going to our immune system and that's going to our logic because it's sort of pushing more energy into just running away or dealing with this issue right now. So if you ever find that sometimes you have tense muscles, tense shoulders, stress headache, stiff neck, this is all because that sort of stress energy is firing into the muscles more than it actually needs to be doing. And so, how do we release that living in a state of stress? Well, there are various different techniques which are extremely powerful. I mentioned briefly earlier tapping, and I'm going to have some tapping exercises in the spiritual toolkit that's going to be there in the members area. Tapping is fantastic. Breath work is fantastic as well. If you've ever done proper breath work, it can literally allow trapped emotions, trapped fear, pain to leave your body. It can be the most incredible release, and you can feel so much better afterwards. And at the time, it might feel a bit uncomfortable, but you're safe. You know, it's literally just energy leaving your body. Also, by the way, things like going for a walk in nature and making that, seeing if you can prioritize that as maybe something that you could do daily, even if it's just a short walk, or at least something that you can do several times per week. Things like having a time to switch off social media. Things like moving and exercising and stretching your body. Things like doing deep stretches like yin yoga that help to release the tension that we might be holding on to in our bodies. Okay. So there's many different ways that can help look after the nervous system, and it's up to each of us as individuals. Now, I mean, maybe you weren't aware of it before because I only learned about this recently, or maybe you are aware of this already, but it's up to us as individuals to go, this is something that needs to be part of my list of priorities so that all other areas in my life can enjoy and benefit from the overflow of me living from a place of calmness generally, of peace generally. And it makes it so much easier to tap into love and joy more of the time because we're not being held down in that place of, I've just got to survive, I've just got to run away from this lion. Okay. So that was the first thing. The second thing is to truly understand where inner happiness can come from. I mentioned earlier in this live that all of the things that we want, the goals we want to achieve, they can bring us temporary pleasure. But the ultimate spiritual goal of living a life of happiness, which is ultimately why we often strive for this thing, this thing, this thing. How can we ultimately tap into what it feels like to just live on love? That's why the course that I'm doing for the next 3 days is called Living on Love, living on that vibrational frequency of love. How can we do that? Well, what's actually really exciting is that when we let go of our obsession with constantly thinking, maybe constantly overthinking. This is stuff that I've been learning from Eckhart Tolle. If we're constantly in our mind and our mind is buzzing with a million thoughts, or then we're questioning our thoughts or judging our thoughts, or then we're not feeling a happy emotion and then we start to feel worse because, oh, it's bad for me to be feeling a negative emotion. Whew, all of that is actually like a weight or a clenched fist holding us apart from our natural state of being. And like I said, what's actually really exciting is that when we let go of that, when we practice almost like unclenching the fist, and with time we practice quieting the mind, and with time we practice letting go of that resistance, then what's amazing is that as human beings, love and joy and peace are our natural state. So it's not like, how do I get to start feeling love? Actually, when we let go of these things that maybe we've been holding on to, we just rise up to that frequency quite naturally. So we're going to be doing some dynamic exercises in the 3-day event and some guided meditations that will help us to just let go, quiet the mind, and at any moment tap into a feeling of deep happiness, love, and joy. Not because of anything, not attached to anything, just being there, making that our vibrational baseline. And then the third and final thing that I find and that I believe really helps with the journey to living on that vibrational scale, or that vibration of love, is to have your happiness, your spiritual happiness toolkit. So I mentioned things already about tapping, breath work, making sure you're prioritizing spending time in nature, making sure you're switching off from technology, making sure you're nourishing your body. That's another huge one. Making this all healthy and clean. All of that makes it easier just to rise up to that vibrational frequency. Okay, so that's enough for today. Like I said, the next 3 days, we're going to be diving deep into all of that. So if you're part of the YouTube members area already and you're signed up to the Transformation Tribe level, I'm so excited to see you there tomorrow. Our first session is going to be at 4 p.m. UK time. If you aren't able to tune in live at that point, it's absolutely no problem, because as you know, if you've been there before, all of the sessions are saved. You can watch the replays at any time that suits you. Okay. We're going to have 3 days. I've got my notes of what's going to be involved in all 3 days. I'm also going to be setting you fun assignments that you can do after each of the live events. Oh, I've gone black on the light's gone out on Instagram. Okay, I think we're still good on Instagram. Yeah, you're going to have interactive assignments to do after each of the sessions as well, because I want it to be a 3-day event where at the end of it, you have felt shifts. And then when it's finished, you have the tools you need to sustain that even when we're not, talking about it actively together. So it is going to be immersive. You are going to be doing things to release. You are going to be doing things to feel better instantly and for the long term. So if you have any questions about it or if you have any difficulties in joining the YouTube membership, drop me a message on Instagram. My Instagram is Life by Lucy, same as my YouTube. I'm more than happy to help you in the DMs. It is easier, I find, to join the YouTube members area on a computer. So if you do have a laptop, if you do have a computer, it's way easier. You literally just go to any of my YouTube videos, press the join button, which is like right next to my name. You know, when on YouTube on a computer, you see the name, you see like the number of subscribers or the number of views that the videos had, like that kind of area. On any of my videos, you'll see a join button. Click on that, a little pop-up will appear, and it will give you 3 options of which level of the membership you want. Select the middle one to get access to the 3-day live event. And like I said, you're also going to be getting access to all the previous courses, masterclasses, and live events that we've had in the past. So that's the one to go to. If you don't happen to have a computer, it is possible to join on a phone. It's just a little bit more glitchy. I think the YouTube mobile website isn't so great, but it's still doable. You just have to make sure you're signed in to Google, to your YouTube Google Gmail account on Safari or Chrome or whatever you use. And then it actually still works fine. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Let's allow February to be the month of love, to be a month of really taking care of and prioritizing how we feel, protecting our energy, doing things that get us feeling good, doing things that help support our nervous system and regulating our nervous system so that life flows more easily for us, so that everything, no matter what curveballs or unexpected things might come our way, because we do live in a universe of, you know, ability and duality and positivity and negativity. If we can be a strong, unshakable, high vibrational spiritual being, then we can navigate and flow like water around rocks and achieve anything that we want to achieve in our life and feel happy on the journey to it. Because that's the ultimate goal, to feel good now. Thank you all so much for joining this impromptu live. See those of you tomorrow who are there, who are going to be there at the event. I love you all. You all deserve absolute love and happiness and joy to fill every moment of your life. I'm so proud of you. Keep going. You're doing a great job. And I'll say goodbye for now. Bye, everyone. Bye on Instagram. Bye. And bye on YouTube. Love you all. Bye.